Hi there everybody, my name is Ali and today we will be going to do task 6 from TryHackMe-Nahamstore, which will be regarding cross-site request forgery, which is CSRF. Now CSRF is a client-side technique which is used to attack other users of the web application. By doing this attack, an attacker can send an HTTP request as a victim. So for example, there is a user A who can change his password on a web application, but if that web application is vulnerable to CSRF attack, anyone on the internet can try to change the password of that user A by sending him a link, and if he opens the link, his password will get changed, and this can lead to an account takeover vulnerability, and that can also give you a lot of payment in bug bounty as well. The prevention for this attack is that there should be CSRF tokens which should be unique and unpredictable, and those tokens should be on every form on the web application. So today we will going to try to find out CSRF vulnerability, and we will try to exploit CSRF vulnerability by different techniques. So you can go to different bug bounty programs and try to exploit CSRF vulnerability. And one more thing is that CSRF attack only performs a certain action on the target. It does not steal any data. So it means that I can change the password of a victim or I can change the email of the victim, but I cannot steal any critical data. So I cannot steal any cookies, just like cross-site scripting attack. So we can only perform a certain action. So that being said, let's jump in. I already have started my machine and my IP address is 10.10.204.210. So I will come directly to task 6, which is CSRF, and there are only 3 questions which I need to answer. But before answering these questions, I will go to the web application manually. I will try to find out all of the vulnerabilities regarding CSRF, all of the techniques which I will perform, and then finally I will come here and answer these questions. So first thing first, I will simply go, because into my previous videos, in my recon videos, I was having a list of subdomains. So if I get out like subdomains.txt, we were having a lot of subdomains. So I will go to the first one, I believe, which was www.nahamstore.thm, and let's see what was here. Now again, when you are hunting for CSRF vulnerability, you know that this is a vulnerability which can cause some sort of action onto the target, onto the victim. So for that you need to be logged in to find this sort of vulnerability. So when you are logged in, you can change your email address. When you are logged in, you can change your username. When you are logged in, you can change your password, your profile photo, and a lot of things. So that's why whenever you are hunting on any public program, on bug bounty, on HackerOne or bugcrowd, always first of all try to log in if you want to hunt for CSRF. So what I will be going to do is I will just register right here, and I will register with like abc@abc.com, and the password, let's say test123456. So register, and now I am logged in as well. So now what I will do is I will simply come here and I will first of all change my email address or my profile photo. I don't know what it is, but when you are logged in onto an application, what you need to do is you need to go into your settings, and the settings will be the place where you will see a lot of CSRF protection onto a web application. Now you can see when I clicked onto my settings, I am having my change email functionality, I am having my change password functionality, and disable account. So I will be not going to disable my account right now, but I will be going to test for these two things. Now you can test for a lot of things, but these two things are most important, which are going to change the state of the application. So you will be going to change your email, you will be going to change your password, or you will change any sort of user data, user information. So now before doing this, I will again start my BurpSuite, and I will come here into my BurpSuite, and I already have added my scope. So I use advanced scope, and in advanced scope I click type in Nahamstore. Now after that I will go into my proxy. In HTTP history I will click on this one, and then I will say show only in scope items and click on apply. And now whatever I will do onto my browser, and if that will contain Nahamstore in the URL, it will come right here. So now if I come back, if I turn on my Burp Suite, and if I click on change email, So it will redirect me to change email page. And if I come back here, now you can see my request has been logged here. So if I click on this one, I can see the request right here as well. Now let's try to change our email from abc to, let's say, test@test.com, and let's see what happens. So if I change my email, it says email has been changed. Let's come back to our burp suite, and I am having a post request, which is the second one. If I click on this one, and let's analyze this request in repeater. So I will send this request to repeater, go to repeater, and right here you can see the request, the parameters as well. First of all, the request is post, and then it is going to account settings email, and then right here you can see change email parameter, and then with change email parameter I am having a parameter called CSRF underscore protect, and it is having a strange value which looks like to me that might be base 64. I don't know what it is. We can go to decoder and decode this one, but there is a CSRF protection. So now what I will do right here is I will send a request, and let's see the response. So in the response, if I scroll down, change email address, and it says email changed. If I render this one, so let's see if my render is working or not. So let's wait. And yes, it is working. And right here you can see it says email has been changed to test@test.com. So now whenever I see these sort of things, I always go to like CSRF, I like removing the CSRF protection. So the first thing which I like to do is I will remove the CSRF protect parameter with everything like this. Remove this one, only remain the email, and let's hit send, and let's see whether my email gets changed. And here you go, you can see without CSRF parameter my email is still getting changed. So that's the first vulnerability here, that without CSRF parameter I am able to change my email. That should not be done. And if I, let's say, test123, hit send, and yes, so you can see email change test123@test.com. So this is definitely vulnerable to cross-site request forgery. Now what you need to do is, if you are using BurpSuite Professional, that is fairly simple. What you can do is you can right click here, you can come here to engagement tools, and you can generate CSRF PoC. But right now I am not using BurpSuite Professional. If you are not using BurpSuite Professional, there is another way that is extremely easy. You don't need to learn any sort of HTML, you don't need to learn any sort of JavaScript. There is one tool on GitHub which will do all of that stuff for you. So now before going for POC, what I will be going to do is I will show you one more thing. So if I do Control Z to get back my CSRF parameter, right here, this was the original request. Now sometimes I have seen on bug bounty programs that there is a CSRF protection, and when you remove this CSRF token and hit send, you will never ever get this sort of email change. Sometimes you might get, but sometimes you will not get. So when you remove this CSRF parameter, what you get and message is that your CSRF parameter is missing. So you need to specify the CSRF parameter. So you will get this sort of error message on different sort of web applications. So then in that case, what you can do is you can change the request method. So right now I can see the request method is post, and there are two parameters, CSRF underscore protect and change underscore email. So what you can do is you can simply right click here, and you can click on change request method. So if you change the request method right here, now you can see the two parameters CSRF underscore protect and change underscore email are now in a get method, which is this one, get. Now if I hit send, let's see what happens. So if I hit send, now you can see it is not changing my email. So if I do like test 1 2 3 4 5 and hit send, again it is not changing my email. So what I can do is I can also try to change the CSRF protection right here, send now, and it is not working right here as well. So in this case, this is not vulnerable to CSRF vulnerability, but when you will be having that error message that, hey, you need to specify the CSRF parameter, you cannot remove that one, definitely go and change the request method. If it is post, change it to get, and then remove the CSRF parameter. And a lot of times you can have a win here, that you can try to change your email without the CSRF protection. So these were the two to three things. Then I will do Control Z right here again. I will change the request method again to post, and I will hit send again just to confirm. Yes, now my email is changed to test@test.com. Now what you need to do is you need to simply right click here if you are using BurpSuite Professional Engagement Tools. If you are not having, you can simply go to Google and you can say that, hey, I want a CSRF generator or CSRF PoC generator. So on the third link on GitHub with this one, this HTML file will create a CSRF PoC. So you can just git clone this complete repository into your Kali Linux or any Linux distribution. I will simply git clone this one, and this will do the same work as BurpSuite Professional does. So I will come here, I will do git clone, paste, and hit enter. And I will go into this directory, and there will be an index.html file. So you need to open this file in Firefox. So I will do Firefox index.html, hit enter. And right here you can see it says that please enter the request right here, and I will give you the CSRF PoC form. So that's what I will going to do, because I'm not having BurpSuite Professional right here. So I will simply copy complete request. I will come back here, I will paste the request here, and now I will specify whether it is HTTP or HTTPS. It is HTTP into my case, so I will click on this one and I will generate PoC form, and right here you can see I have successfully got the PoC form. Now one thing which we need to change right here is the email value. Now let's say I want to change the email of my target to test 123456789 at intest.com. So I want to change the email of my target to test123456789 at test.com, and I know that that web application is vulnerable to CSRF, so I got the CSRF PoC. I will simply do one more thing. Now let me show you there are two things to do. So first of all, I will copy this complete HTML and I will come into my, let's create another file in Sublime Text. So I like to use Sublime Text Editor. So I will say Sublime change email.html file. I will paste my HTML code which I got from there, and yeah, so let's save this one and let's see what happens if an victim opens this in Firefox. So if I open this in Firefox, so I will do Firefox change email.html, hit enter, and right here you can see I got a submit button right here, and when the victim will click on this submit button, his email will get changed. So I will click on this submit button right here, and it says invalid security token right here. Let's see what was the problem. Okay, the problem here was that we need to remove that CSRF token as well. So I will come back here because I know that without CSRF token it is vulnerable. So right click this one, copy, come back here, CSRF PoC generator, paste this one, generate PoC. Now it looks much more easier. So I will do test 123456789 at test.com, copy everything, come back here, paste it here, save this one, and now let's open it again. So Firefox change email.html, hit enter. Now I'm having a submit button. Let's say if this victim clicks on this submit button, let's see what happens. And right here you can see the email of the victim has been changed from test@test.com to test123456789.com. But you notice there is one thing which we need to do just to make it much more easier for us, and the victim does not get suspicious as well. You see, when I opened that HTML file, I got this page and there is a submit button right here. Now I don't want to show this button to the victim. I want that when the victim opens my HTML file or when he opens my link, this submit button should automatically be clicked, and this form should automatically be submit, and the email should be changed automatically. He should not click on this one because that will be very suspicious. So for that purpose, we need to write only one thing into our HTML code that will be in script tag. So that will be javascript, so script, and I will also close the script tag as well, like this. And right in here, what I will do is I will add a very short code where that will be document dot, and then I will say forms, and I will say 0 because this is the first form, and then I will say that I want to submit this form. So document.form.submit function, and then a semicolon. What it will do is it will automatically submit this form, and he will not be able to click on submit button. So now I will save this one. I will come back here and let's change the email as well. So this time I will do abc12345@test.com. Save this one, and let's come back to our terminal and open this one in Firefox. So now let's see whether we did wrong. Yes, we did something wrong. Let's come back and let's see what we did. So I believe it is not form, it is forms. So save now. Let's come back here, open this in Firefox, click on this one, and right here you can see now it automatically clicked on that submit button, and now email has been changed. So this is how we exploit CSRF vulnerability, and by this we can simply change email address, change password, change username, and change the information of the victim. Now this was for the email parameter. Let's move on to the password parameter right here as well, because I saw there was a password parameter as well. So if I will close this all stuff right here, and let's go to account settings and change the password. So if I click on change password, and it says you need to specify the new password. So let's specify the new password as, let's say, test 123456789. So I will change the password, and it says password has been updated. So let's come back to our BurpSuite. In my proxy HTTP history right here, this one, I will send this request to repeater, and right here you can see again this change password functionality is not having a CSRF token. Now this is not having a CSRF token, so 90% or 100% chances are that this is vulnerable to CSRF. So what we can do is, again, first of all I will click on send, and then I will directly go for CSRF PoC. Now in the email parameter there was a CSRF token. We tried to change, removed, or change the request method, or do a lot of things, because sometimes we can also copy the CSRF token of another user. Sometimes the same token is being used, and a lot of things are being done. But right now this is having totally no protection. There is no CSRF token in cookie parameter. There is no CSRF token anywhere I can see in any header or anything. So again, that will be very simple. So we can right click here. If you are using BurpSuite Professional, engagement tools, generate CSRF PoC. I am not using BurpSuite Professional. I will copy this one. I will come back to my CSRF simple PoC generator, paste the request, do HTTP generate PoC form. Right here you can see my form has been created, and I will copy this one, and I will again come back to my Linux terminal, and then I will create another file, this time change password.html, paste that HTML form right here. Again I will copy the same script tag from my previous one. I will paste it right here like this, and let's change the password from test123456789 to, let's say, please subscribe, like this. And now I will save this one, and I will come back to my terminal, open this in Firefox, and just we are assuming that this is opened by my target. So change password.html, hit enter, and here you go. So it says password has been submitted password has been updated successfully and the form was submitted automatically, and now the password has been changed. So on this password parameter there was totally no CSRF protection. On email parameter there was a CSRF protection, so I bypassed that CSRF protection, and this is how actually it works. So again, just reminding you that this only changes, it is only an action, it only changes some information about the user, it does not steal any sort of data. One more thing which I noticed when I was doing email parameter was, let's come back here, settings, change email. I told you that CSRF token was, let's click on change email and let's intercept the request, proxy, this one, send this request to repeater. And I noticed here that this CSRF token is encoded. So what we can do is we can decode this one. Normally, sometimes CSRF tokens are in base 64 or some different sort of language. So let's see. So I will copy this one, go to decoder, paste it here, and then I will click on first of all smart decode. So if I click on smart decode, nothing happens. Percentage 3D, if I remove this one, smart decode, nothing happens. Then I will do decode as base 64, and here you go, you can see it is a base 64 encoded like CSRF token. And then there are two parameters, one of them is data, the other one is signature. And data looks like that this is again base 64, so I will select this one, decode as base 64, and here you go, you can see user ID of 5 timestamp and then the signature. So user ID parameter is here, we can try for IDOR vulnerability or IDOR. If we cannot try for IDOR, we can change the user ID, do it base 64 encoded again and in this format, and then do it base 64 encoded again and in this format, and then we can change the CSRF token and try to see what happens, whether we are able to successfully do that one or not. So in this case we can try to perform CSRF attack, and this is a lot of time found on different bug bounty programs, web applications, and a lot of websites are there which are not having a proper CSRF protection. So this was it, I think so, for this video. Let's come back to TryHackMe questions and let's see whether we are able to find everything or not. So it says what URL has no CSRF protection. So I noticed that the password URL was not having any sort of CSRF protection, but email was having one CSRF protection which we were able to bypass. So submit this one. What field can be removed to defeat the CSRF protection? And I know that that was CSRF underscore protect parameter in email. So this one. And what simple encoding is used to try and CSRF protect a form? So that was base 64, because that CSRF token was in base 64. So that was all about CSRF, and hopefully you will learn a lot from this one, and you can go to bug bounty programs and try to follow my methodology, look for the places where CSRF tokens are not being there, go sign up and log in and change your email address, change your password, and look for where CSRF token is not there. If CSRF token is there, just remove the CSRF token and see whether you get a win, or change the request method, or copy the CSRF token of another user and try to paste in there and then the send, and let's see what happens. So try all of the things and hopefully you will see some wins easily. So this was it for this video, and I will see you in the next video. Take care. Bye.